Join us on a rather unique family adventure today as we hunt for and find some pretty incredible treasure. From a Model T headlight to a 1955 license plate, we unearthed many amazing finds on this day. This was our children's first time bottle or privy digging. I used to do this with my mom when I was young and have fond memories of these times. And it seems our kids enjoyed themselves too. They each found a few treasures to bring home with them and have been begging us to go back ever since. They were plenty happy to be invited to dig in the earth and explore. The history we dug up on this day amazes me. I wish with a simple touch I could be flooded with visions of each item in their original state and catch glimpses of those who used them. But instead, what I was able to discern through research will have to suffice. Now come along with us, see what we unearthed, how the items cleaned up, and learn some of the history behind each item with me. Be sure to stick around until the end of this vlog so you don't miss seeing our treasure once it's all cleaned up. Okay, we are on an impromptu little adventure here, and we are going to dig up some treasures of sorts. We've known about this location for a little over a year. There was some construction work done in this area up ahead, and a lot of things were unearthed. There must have been some building that used to be over in this area, and either it was destroyed intentionally with items inside or it burned down. I don't know the history. We just know that this is a spot where there is a lot of stuff, old stuff, cool stuff. I've been here before and I've come with my sister, but the kids have never come and Brandon has never come. So Brandon is with us today too. He's got his mountain bike because this is a good place for him to get a little riding in. And we have some gear to do some digging and shoveling. It's wet and muddy around these parts, so we're all geared up in our boots. We're gonna see what we can find. This is really a place that's meant for snowmobiling, but there's no more snow in Maine, yay! So, we are utilizing the space for treasure hunting. We are reaching the area where there's all kinds of stuff.
You had one in your foot. Well, it's not cracked. What about this one? This is not cracked.
So far, I found a few treasures that I feel like I would like to keep. Can't quite tell what that says on the bottom right now. Also, this little one. And just to give you an idea of like all the stuff that's around here.
The famous quote is to be or to not to be, and this says not to be.
Huh. No, not to be. Yeah, I wonder what the rest
Supposed to
is.
say refilled.
Okay,
not
put
to
that
be
down.
refilled.
Be careful with it. Eli's making a pile of treasures.
Alice gave this to me.
Oh, okay. Leave her pile alone.
Eli!
These are some of the things that Charlie has discovered. I think this is Colin's little pile over here. Brandon is off mountain biking, but look at the treasures everywhere. I was digging over here before. Oh, that is really neat. Look at that. Be careful with it. Oh yeah, let me see. Let me see if I can tell what that lid says. Zeffy's brand. Oh, Marciano cherries. Oh, there were cherries in this jar.
Cherries?
Yeah, go put that in your pile. That's a cool one.
There's cherries in this jar.
Lots of items have already been broken. Just from whatever the fate they suffered, I'm sure. We're really thinking that there must have been a fire here because we've found a few glass items that are melted. Oh, let's see this up close.
It's a piece of a glass, but you can tell it definitely
Yeah, suffered some
sort of-
meltage.
Look at the color of this. Could you imagine?
That would have been
This looks
so
like a beer
cool if it
bottle.
was whole. Wish I could tell what was on there.
Not to be
So-
This is my cup.
Oh,
This is the cup I found.
With the handle intact.
We have taken a lot of things from this site, and we have never quite found something like this.
Yeah.
I also found
Eli,
this
give me my bottle back.
piece of glass with a pine tree on it, which I feel like people in Maine are obsessed with pine trees, so.
Ma, you can make music.
And I also found this bell.
Look at that. Such cool finds.
And I do have the thing for the bell, it kind of fell off.
Oh, but we have it.
We have it though. There's definitely a car here. A lot of clothes, a lot of shoes.
A lot of old, like, little
A
makeup
lot of melted
containers.
glass. I'm actually surprised at the amount of plastic that's here.
Like
this? I don't know what this is from, but yeah.
It's a treasure
Very
trove.
interesting area.
It really is. It's just like everywhere you look, there's all kinds of stuff.
A lot of like tinder. Whatever. The toe of a shoe, part of a boot. I think
found
there was a
couple
young
already.
girl that lived in this barn because we found like baby scissors, the comb.
You found scissors?
Yes.
Wow.
So a couple of like small things like that. I don't know what that is.
I just found a broken light bulb.
Broken light bulb.
That's cool.
So this sponge-like substance.
Sponge-like substance.
Hey! Ow! Glass.
Brandon, do you
Be careful.
die if I'm bleeding right now?
Guys,
Huh? Well, watch out, Alex. Hope you got your tetanus shot.
what's the tetanus shot?
That's what I'm asking. Brittany, look, I found another one, and it has liquid in it.
You are ridiculous. Oh, that's cool, Bob.
And it's a different size.
You find the coolest stuff.
These are the two that I found so far.
With the lid, with the like wire that holds the lid on. I mean, I'm glad they're being found, but I'm jealous.
The smaller one? Oh.
No, Charlie.
What?
No.
Brittany.
Oh, I found a piece of a shingle.
Oh, that's a cool one.
I found a piece of a shingle.
Nice.
Oh, we found like whole boots.
Ooh, I found a cover.
It says.
It's a full cover too.
Oh yeah, Charlie found one.
Here you go.
I like this one.
Don't dig with your hands if you can't see where you're going, because you'll end up getting cut.
Yeah, like I did. Do you think I'll die?
Oh, maybe.
You think we'll die from what?
Look at this guy.
Oh, that's really cool, Brandon. Show Brittany's camera.
Brittany Bear.
They found something really cool.
With a cover.
With a cover.
With
a cover. It is. That is actually something we've never found before. The shape. Do you think I'll die?
Yes.
Of what?
Found something else with a cover.
Oh.
Brittany.
Oh.
Oh,
That one has a lot of cracks in
It does
it.
have a lot of cracks, but it's brown glass. That's cool.
Yeah, that makes me nervous. No, I don't think you're gonna die, Alex.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Alright.
Yeah.
Should have told her she was gonna
Hopefully
die.
you don't die.
Thank you, Charlie.
Oh,
Okay. Right
this
here.
would have been super cool.
Found a worm.
Woohoo! Worm!
Let's Brittany, I found a really cool cover.
That is a cool cover.
Nope, this one's mine, Charlie.
This would have been so cool
Charlie, find your own stuff.
Yeah,
God.
Charlie.
if it was whole.
Oh, Alex.
What?
Look, it's the
Are you using your
handle.
shovel thingy?
It's a handle of a shovel.
Oh,
Oh, this isn't rusted. This
I don't know what this was, but it was
This was
really
a
cool. It was
5
huge.
quart.
Look at this.
Yeah.
That would have been big. It's on the bottom to some ice skates.
Brittany didn't find those.
No,
I didn't
she
find
didn't. She's lying to everybody.
I didn't
about
say that I found them. I said we.
No,
like
Brittany,
a
look what I just
collective.
found.
Oh, where's the shovel?
And it has writing on the side. Alex, go home.
It says
Johnson's.
Oh, that's
Dura-
Johnson's.
Duraglass.
Johnson's. Anodyne. Johnson's Anodyne.
Oh, that's like
Daddy, look at.
That's cool.
Daddy.
What, buddy?
Whoa, that is really cool.
Is that a bone?
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's
Johnson's
cool.
Anodyne, yeah. The third really amazing thing you found, Alexandra.
Actually, the fourth. If you count my cup, which I count.
What bug?
It must be a human bone.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Because it might be like going up here and then
Really cool.
it broke like right here and then the bone like that.
Yeah, I think it's an animal bone. We're gonna hope that it's an animal bone.
Why is there no teeth on the ground?
Underneath this log. It's speaking to me.
Oh, this would have been cool too.
Whoa!
Brittany,
Look at this!
You
What's
did
a
that.
milk jug?
I found like a giant
That is
Look.
sad.
part
a
of
milk
one.
jug.
And it's even, I've got the other
Alex.
piece.
Oh, why is it so
On the jar.
Oh. And a big old spider.
Granny Bear.
Oh, that's actually a cool jar because the lid of that one is very different.
Wide.
Yeah. Does it fit this?
Look, I found a metal pail. That actually does fit it.
That's
pretty cool.
I don't think they went together, but are you keeping this lid?
Mama,
Okay, I'm keeping this lid.
I think that cap fits right here.
Well, it goes to this one, so we're gonna leave it with this one, okay? This is Daddy and I's pile until we get the bucket down here.
Brandon, let's move this log so we can keep searching in this.
Look at this shoe
area.
Look, oh,
Look, Brandon, we need to remove this log. Can you just...
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What
Bloody
just
lie.
happened?
Wow, look at this bone.
Daddy, give
Alex.
it!
Brandon,
That's bone?
look at this bone.
Can I see? Daddy, I got it. Can I see?
Hope.
Daddy. Mama. Mama.
Hold on, Eli.
Put them in that bucket, okay? Put all the pieces in that bucket.
Wow.
What kind of,
Oh, can I
like
see?
what?
Oh, God, look at that. Do you?
Brandon! Whoa! Brandon, I gotta turn this so we can see your beauty.
It says Avon on the bottom.
Oh,
Brittany, I need my cap to my jar back. I'm sorry.
Alexandra.
I need it back. I think this is what it goes to.
You are a thief.
I did find this though. You can pry the cap off of this one.
No, thank you. How kind of you.
Look at that.
Well, that's
That
my,
is super cool.
that's my Avon
Here.
jar.
I do need the cap back.
Okay,
though.
well, it's over there and it's safe,
Brittany, here.
so calm
Do you
down.
want this one?
I want that Avon jar.
Do you want this one?
It's cracked, but we keep in this
What?
Do you want this one?
girl. Probably, thank you. Avon.
Get out of here.
So cool. Wow. Yeah.
Look at that.
Another bottle that has a
What does
cap.
it say?
Deep Magic Facial
Spring.
Cleansing Lotion with a cap.
Oh, nice, Brandon.
Ooh,
I found one with the cap, Daddy.
that's cool.
Look. It doesn't look old, but
Oh my god, another piece of a bone. What is
Wow. The fact that it has
what kind of
the
animal
label
died
on it though
here?
is
Yeah.
super cool.
Alex, look,
Brittany,
probably
another hunk of bone.
cow or something.
like the whole label is still on it.
Deep Magic facial cleansing lotion. That's really cool.
There's so much broken stuff right here. What is that?
I don't know what this is, but
There's a
pretty
large
gross.
something here.
Brittany just keeps finding bones.
Well, you know, I mean, at least you're finding something, right?
I guess.
What is it? Alex, look at this.
Whoa.
Oh, found this bottle with a lid still on it. Brandon
A
found.
headlight! Look at that headlight!
Wow. That's old.
That's cool.
Ooh, this is covered in ants. I probably shouldn't keep opening it, but it looks like.
Throw it on the other side.
Oh my god.
Clothes.
Oh my god. I
What?
can't believe I found.
What'd you find?
Oh, God.
You like that headlight, huh?
I do. Look at it's like a Model T headlight.
That's really
I
cool.
found a saw blade. Look.
Oh Oh, wow.
Daddy's cool. You are bleeding. Daddy, look.
No,
I found a saw blade.
It's
Whoa, cool.
fine.
Alex, look at this bad Larry.
Ooh. Brandon, why do you keep finding the coolest little tiny ones? I like the tiny ones.
Oh my god, I
really
love
like
this
this one.
headlight.
Brittany, how's it feel to be the worst person at this right now?
Alexandra,
What?
I'm not feeling like I'm the worst. I'm happy. And I'm happy that other people are finding cool stuff and are happy. So.
But she'd be happier if she was the one finding stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use a stick to throw my
A
stick.
can of motor oil.
Ooh, that's cool.
I found
mean,
something
it's
that will not budge.
Not a whole can. It's very crumpled.
No, where are the bones?
My headlight was
Put
pretty
a piece
stuck in
of
there.
bone over.
I think I just found a
The
wolf.
laces of a boot. Oh look, I found the rest of the boot.
Ow.
Look at that.
I have a whole boot.
Oh,
An entire boot.
this is not a whole anything, but it is cool.
Yeah, I found a piece of, like, this glass would have been really cool if it was whole. Brittany, look at it.
Huh. It's been cool.
Hey, Daddy.
What?
Found a boot.
Nice. Yeah, I found most of a boot also.
Well, mine's whole.
Yeah.
Mine's whole.
Hey, coming at you from the garage here, where our treasures have been kept since we last went hunting for them. And we have not had the opportunity to clean any of the items up yet, but I am too excited to get out here and get my hands on a couple of these things. I'm not going to clean everything up tonight, but I am going to clean up a few of the things that I feel like are my favorites. And several of these items you didn't even get to see in the portion of the video where we were digging for them because my battery on my camera died and I didn't realize it, and I was so engrossed in the whole experience of hunting for these treasures. It's a real life treasure hunt, and it is just so amazing to find these old items. And just I was thrilled with some of the things that we found, far beyond anything that we found before when we have gone there or when I have gone there. As I shared, this was Brandon's first time, the kids' first time, but definitely far above and beyond anything that I had found so far. And it just feels really neat to think that these were all items that someone or many people used and that they just existed. They had a whole life before we unearthed them from the ground. And it's just neat to think about the history behind each piece and where they came from and all of that. I'm just really fascinated by it. So I'm looking at the bucket here on the floor in the garage, and I'm very excited about all of the items in here. Let me turn you around. So here are our items, and I'm going to go through the bucket and just take each thing out so that you can see everything in its current state, which is dirty, and just chat a little bit about each of the items and what ones we're feeling like we love the most at this point. This is not anything that we do looking for any sort of profit. We don't sell any of these items. We just are hunting for them because we find it fun. We find it incredible. We just enjoy the experience and having our kids join us in this adventure and bringing some history to them. So one of my favorite finds is this item right on top here. It is a Maine license plate. Vacation Land is what it says down there. And we're thinking this says 50, what did we say? I think we said there that we thought it said 55. And so it's hard to get it at an angle that kind of shows what we were seeing when we were there. Kind of like that, 55. So we're thinking this is a license plate from 1955. It does look like it has some damage from a fire, perhaps. So we are going to see about getting that cleaned up and see what we can discern from it. We did find lots and lots of bottles, of course. Some of them are just a super neat shape, and have some different writing on them. Oh, what is this? New, I can't quite tell what it says. I don't think it's anything that is around today. It looks like NU and then LCU. And it does look like it says Auburn, Maine on the bottom. I can tell from the seam here, it goes all the way up to the lip. So that means this bottle is not particularly that old, but it is still a really neat find. So excited to see what exactly that says on it. I really liked this one, not so much because of the shape or anything like that, but because of the shape of the top. You don't often find jars with this sort of opening. Again, the seam goes right up to the edge here, so it's not a super old jar, but I do still find it pretty fascinating. This little guy is an interesting shape for sure. It looks like it maybe was like a men's aftershave or something. That's kind of what is coming to mind when I look at it. Not totally sure on the purpose of that one, but we find it fascinating. We found a cup, a fully intact cup. It's a very plain, basic cup. I don't think that it has any amount of writing on it, but we were just really impressed to have found an intact cup, so we dragged that along with us. This little jar is not particularly old either. What does it say here on the bottom? Duraglass, 4-ounce Duraglass. I think I've heard of Duraglass before, and it is supposed to be durable, so maybe that's why that one has survived. I particularly like the shape of this one. It is an Avon bottle. No lid on this one, little tiny opening. Probably a perfume bottle is what I'm thinking. The seam, let's track that. The seam goes right up to the edge there. So again, not super old. This one does have some cracks going on in it, so I'm treating this one extra careful. I had to do a little bit of adjusting. I was just kneeling down, and that was really getting to my lower legs. So we've adjusted, and I'm now sitting on the bucket of the tractor. But you know, we do what we gotta do. This is an Atlas Easy Seal jar. The lid is not with this one, but the metal piece is. I don't know that I'll keep the metal piece on. Maybe. It is, you know, part of the history, but there is that. These are pretty common in the area where we've been digging. Not particularly old on this one either, but just super neat. You know, we're not in it just for the age of items. So we just like to unearth these things and imagine the life that they once had. This is Deep Magic Facial Cleansing Lotion. And we were pretty fascinated by the fact that this name and information was still so clear on here. So we know the exact use of this bottle, and it even has its lid. Anything with writing really excites me. This says registered little more. Going to do some research on that because I have no idea what this bottle was used for. I can't quite figure out the age on it just because there is the remnants of a cap still around the top, which I will probably remove. It's not in great shape, and I would like to be able to track that seam line up and see exactly where it ends to try to figure out an age on the bottle. But that is a neat find. This is a common size and shape that I've found in this location when I've gone before with my sister. Not really sure what it is or was. Maybe a salt and pepper shaker or something like that. This one has some cracking in it. No words of any kind on this bottle. This is just a hunk of greenish glass, and our assumption is that it is the result of being in the thick of the fire that occurred at this location. We're pretty confident that a fire occurred there. And so I just brought it home because it was neat and it holds so much history. Another common item you saw us finding while we were there were these lids to those Atlas jars. Each one seems to be a little different. I think these two are pretty much the same, slightly different patterns on these. I also found this variation. I don't know which is older or if they date back to about the same time. What does this say? Gonna need to get that cleaned up, I think, to figure it out. I was particularly excited about this little find. It has this little handle on it. It is a true handle. There's just dirt stuck in there. And this little pour spout could have been used for maybe cream or something like that. I can see the seam, and it goes up a pretty good ways. I think pretty much right up to the edge here. So I don't think it's a super old bottle again, but just really neat to me still. I could see it being a great little bud vase. Another mason jar-esque item. This one is literal Ball, the Ball brand. This seemingly simple jar or bottle is one of my favorite finds from the day. It doesn't have any kind of writing on it. Does it? I don't think there's anything on the bottom. A symbol, but no writing. And it doesn't look all that exciting on the surface, but I noticed this air bubble in it early on. And whenever you come across an old or a jar that you think is old, if you find air bubbles like that or other imperfections, that is a sign that it is indeed old. So the air bubble caught my attention, and then I was tracking the seam up the bottle, and it ends right about here, right as that neck is starting. And the sooner that seam ends, the older the bottle is. So this one has some age to it, probably late 1800s, I think. I'm not a total bottle expert. I like to pretend I am a little bit. I do have some good knowledge from a reliable resource, but I think I'm close on the age of this one. It does seem like it saw some fire. There is writing on it. Ooh. I'm going to be very excited to try to uncover that. This is one that's going to go inside and get worked on this evening. Future Brittany tuning in here. I have a cold, so excuse the sound of my voice at this time. In doing my research about this bottle, I learned that some of them are made of uranium, so I got out my blacklight, and this one does not appear to be made of uranium, but what I did find in exposing it to light is all kinds of little air bubbles in there that I couldn't see before. All those little imperfections. There's that big one, but lots of little ones all throughout it too. Still not sure the age of this one, but still fascinated by it. One of the previous times that I visited this area, I found a piece, I can't remember exactly what it was, but a piece to an old Ford Model T. And so this is a piece that Brandon grabbed because he thinks it might go to, that's just wet in there. He thinks it might go to a headlight here that he found. So we took that piece along with us. I tried to be really gentle with everything in here, but he was extremely excited to find this. He is a car guy. If you don't know much about Brandon and you're just tuning in to this video, he is an absolute car guy. That has been his career and his profession since he graduated from college. And so this is the headlight to an old car. I think he said he thought it was from a Model T. Future Brittany tuning in again. Brandon did some work to the Model T headlight. We have become confident that it is indeed a Model T headlight. I didn't realize that it had this little opening at first, but it does. And Brandon is still so infatuated with it, and I'm loving that he is. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said something about right there, that's where they would light it, and it was gas powered. So it is definitely an old piece of metal. And he said things that are made from metal today would never last this long. So, so neat. This is just a lot of history in my hands. When I touched it, I wish I could get a flashback of what it looked like when it was fully assembled and see who was driving it and just get a little glimpse into some information about the existence of this piece. So he was very, very excited to find this. So we did bring that home with us. I also snuck a little jar in there to try to maximize space in this bucket. This one is a cute shape. I don't think it has any writing on it. The seam, no, the seam goes like right up to the edge. So it's not a super old bottle either, but I do still enjoy it. It has a symbol on the bottom, but that's about it for information on this little cutie. It still, of course, has some pretty incredible history. So this is another one that we were rather excited about because how often do you see a bottle of that coloring? So that was very interesting to us, and it has writing all over it. Federal law prohibits sale or reuse of this bottle. And then it has this symbol that I don't really know what that is, and it says Jackman on it. So I'm thinking it must be some kind of alcohol bottle, but I am looking forward to researching this one as well. Another lid, still slightly different than most of the others that have been found. One more lid. This was a fun find. It says Raleigh's trademark down the side of it. It has a symbol of sorts on the bottom. Not a super old bottle. One, because it has the screw top. Let's see if I can find a seam here and not drop it, because I don't want to do that. Yeah, I can see the seam going right up to the neck. So not super old, still really neat. So this is my little pile of ones that I'm gonna take inside tonight that I just can't wait. Oh gosh, just can't wait on. This one's fun. I just like the shape. I like the pattern going on here. There is a little bit of information on the bottom. Slades, something that's going to go inside tonight too. We're getting down to some of the last couple items. This one is disgusting. I don't know what that substance is in there, but it is hard as can be. There's no budging it. I'm not totally sure why I decided I had to bring this one home. I think I was so enamored with the substance in there. It's not an old bottle. The seam goes right up to the edge there. So I don't really know what my thought process was with this one. It doesn't seem to have any information on it. I think this is one I found early on and I was just excited that it was intact. So I don't know what the overall fate of this one's going to be, because that substance in there is, it's not a substance. That solid in there is gross looking. I said that we were getting down to some of the last few, but now it's just the smaller ones. We found this little gem. I like the bluish color of this one. The seam does go pretty far up the side, so not super old on this one either. No writing on it, but a beautiful little jar that definitely has some history. Oh my, this was an incredible find. I am excited to do some research on this. I know it looks like nothing in my hands right now, but it is a little purse of sorts. So here's the flap to open it, and there's the inside of it. It's made of all these little metal balls and such. I am just excited to learn more about this. I don't really care how old it is or isn't. I'm fascinated by these items that really show that there's a story going on here, that there were real people that touched these items and used these items. I'm just fascinated by all of it. This little jar is pretty neat. It's got, its cap is there, and it doesn't have any sort of information on it. I can't really It says USA on the bottom, but that's all I can really discern from it. I do, just like the shape, love the fact that it was intact. So it has come home to our collection. This is one of our other favorite finds. It has so much information on it still. And it's just really neat that we can see this much information. So we have since what here? Since 1888. Delicious and refreshing. Contains carbonated water, sugar, extractions of ginger root and citric acid, and caramel color. Bottle sterilized before filling. Bottled by the Vincent Co. Inc., Auburn, Maine. Look at that. And it is Vincent's Sparkling Pale Dry Ginger Ale. So don't know a ton about this bottle yet either. It is just really fascinating. It's got so much information on it. I'm excited to see that beauty cleaned up. So it's going to go to the inside pile for today. Here we have another bottle that has a little bit of information on it. What does that say? Swindell, maybe? Hard to tell. So not entirely sure what this little cutie would have been used for. Trying to find a seam on it, while also being careful one-handed. Well, now that I'm really giving this one a look over, I'm a little more fascinated by it than I was even originally. I'm noticing some imperfections if you look at this shaping on the bottom. And as I mentioned before, those imperfections always get me excited because that adds to the history and typically the age of the item. And it says something up here at the top. So I'm actually going to add this one to the little collection of items that are going inside tonight. All right, let's plow through these last couple items. Another lid, I think still somehow different than the other plethora of lids we found there. One more lid. Uh-oh, what did I drop? I don't think I broke anything. I don't know what that was, though. Oh, I do know what that was. This button. Let's see if I can get it to focus. It just looks like a very dirty, messy thing right now. I really don't think there's any serious significance to this button. I just adore the fact that I know it has lived a life, and I wish that I could see all the places this little button has been. So we'll take that in and get it cleaned up before it gets lost, since it is tiny. This one is looking like it might have been another cologne bottle. There is a little bit of information on the bottom. Something USA is really all I can make out there. But the lid is on it, and it's a little cutie. One more of those bottles, maybe even the exact same one. Looking like it's pretty similar, just no lid on this one, but that sort of opening kind of reaffirms that it was probably some kind of men's aftershave or cologne type item like that. And then this little guy, not a lot of info, just some symbols there, no writing on it, and the seam goes up a good ways, so not particularly old either. I can feel the seam up to there, but still intact and a cute little find. So that is what we hauled out of there on this day. We've been trying to get back since this visit because we were so enamored with everything that we found and pulled out, but the rain here in Maine has not been on our side. So we have not made it back yet. Hopefully in time we will over the next couple of days, just because it's kind of like a scratch you've got to itch, you know, that feeling. And we just need to get back and do a little more investigating and digging. So this is the pile that's going inside tonight, in addition to the license plate, and I'll update you on how those beauties clean up and what information I find on them. These items cleaned up so beautifully. This one's grossing me out a tiny bit because you see that worm there? It's definitely dead, but it's so stuck in there. I'm sure I could get it with a toothpick or something. And I mean, a ear thing, you know what I mean. And maybe I will, but it says Rawlings trademark on it. And then on the bottom, we have just some symbols and maybe a couple of numbers. So gonna do some research about that cutie. This guy, I talked to you about what it said before, but look at how nicely it cleaned up. I was really gentle with this one. I didn't want any of this beautiful color on the exterior to come off, so I initially didn't scrub it, and then when I did, I was really gentle. And the substance on the inside, I did take the cap off, but there was another layer that seemed pretty stuck on, so I really have no idea what the substance is inside. I'm assuming it's just water from over time, but I don't really know, so it's just gonna hang out in there for now. The button is just a beautiful little button. Let's see, it's got a little bit of detailing to it. It's got like a prism-like look there. You can see it a little bit all over it, and it does still have some thread in it, which I just, you know, the history side of me is like, that's super neat. This guy turned out to have a good bit of writing on the bottom. So let's see, it says, no way, peanut butter. It's peanut butter. That was a peanut butter jar. Peanut butter. Slade's peanut butter. I don't know anything about Slade's peanut butter, but that is so cool to me that that was a peanut butter jar. What the heck? This one is just a bit of a mystery to me. It looks like it says S maybe, V111. Is that an S? And it's the one that has the interesting bottom that it seems like it's an imperfection. And then it says Swindell, I think, on the bottom. And I can't find any real seam on it, so that's what's interesting to me. This kind of looks like the seam right here, but I'm not positive. So this one, I don't know. I'm real curious to do some research on that one and see what we find. I babied this one when I cleaned it off because I noticed how gentle this marking that's still on it was, and some little bits of it started to come off. So I did not scrub this one, and I just gently rinsed it with my hands. So that's the Vincent Sparkling Pale Dry Ginger Ale, and contents 7 fluid ounces. Just so neat. Can't wait to look this one up and learn about that. And then we had this little beauty. Okay, I'm making out some of the words. Menard's Liniment, and then S.O. Fran something, Mass, USA. I could get the inside a little more clean, and I will try to, because I think that would make it easier for me to read this full portion, but this was just an initial clean, I guess. This one's probably one of the dirtiest on the inside. So again, excited to learn about this one. And I saved the best for last. Look how good that cleaned up. But before we get to that, look at this little purse bag. I'm not entirely sure. I am amazed at how well this cleaned up. It doesn't seem all that different on camera, but when I'm actually touching it, it is. So here's the little flap on the front, and then it opens up. And on the back, I did discover that it has this little like handle type thing too. So I have no idea if this is actually a purse or if I'm just calling it that. And if it was something entirely different. I have known nothing about this, but I find it really fascinating. These are all little metal bits that are kind of chain linked together. And then very likely my favorite find, Maine Vacation Land 219397, and that sure is a 55. This is a 1955 license plate, and I find that incredible. The history in this is rich. So I'm going to do a little research on all of these adorable pieces, try to learn as much about them as I can. I will share with you what I learn. That's going to be it for this vlog, this trip to our little treasure hunting area. I don't think it'll be our last, so hopefully we'll make it back sooner rather than later, and we'll be able to find some other great things. And I may also update you on some of the other pieces that I didn't bring in to clean tonight if I learn anything neat about those pieces. What is your favorite find of ours? And do you have any favorite spots where you can go treasure hunting like this? Absolutely love it. Wow, what an adventure that was. We unearthed some pretty incredible items and learned some great history about them. Thank you so much for joining us on this adventure today. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.